Hi, this is Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And we've got a lot of wonderful things going on in the cruise industry, which I'll share more about in my episode this week too, which is great. But also, one thing that just came up today, okay, with Royal Caribbean, and what they did was they just had their Royal Caribbean sales team. Actually, what they did was they did, as we approached Thanksgiving, Vicky Fried, of No Figures, she's a great person, Senior Vice President Sales for Royal Caribbean. What they did was, at what they do is they approach Thanksgiving and they try and embrace different ways to help people and ways to get back to communities too. What they did was, they did their Royal Caribbean sales team actually individually built and donated over 100 bikes to the kids, okay, that live as a home that, with 500 residents, that's close to their Perfect Day at Coco Cay, their private outlet. What they did was it was a great way to really, really recognize and help these young people. But I just thought it was amazing that they did because their team actually individually built and donated over 100 bikes to these kids who live in this area, okay, which is great. So it's a great way to really help out the local communities in the Bahamas, okay, but thought I'd bring it up first too because it's a great way to kind of pre-celebrate Thanksgiving, isn't it, which is next week. Yes, okay. Now, something else that came up too this week is, of course, Disney Cruise Line did name their Disney Treasure in New York with drones and more, okay, and on November 19th, earlier this week, the Disney Treasure, which is their newest ship, actually arrived and was christened on the Hudson in New York City, okay? And they did was, it was a stunning event with storytelling, of course, and they also have, they depicted different stars and icons of course, the beloved Disney adventures on board the ship, including Aladdin, the Haunted Mansion, yes, Moana and Coco, and the ship itself was actually named by Disney's cast members around the world. So it wasn't just one person to christen the ship; it was their cast members, and that is just phenomenal, isn't it? I just love that because once again, um, in over 100 years, Disney stores have really created joy and wonder. And Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Walt Disney Company, mentions too in their celebration too. Once again, the Disney Treasure christening included different drones forming a 65-foot tall champagne bottle that burst into the grand finale, okay, which is great too. And once again, the Disney Treasure is the new ship. She's a sister ship to their um, Disney Witch, which was launched in 2022. And of course, they've got the Disney Destiny coming up in November 2025. It's a great crew. And what they'll do is they've got different things on board the ships too. And then once again, the Disney Treasure actually just sailed out yesterday on her maiden voyage, December 21st. In her inaugural season, she'll be offering 7-night cruises to Eastern and Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral. And this is part of their multi-year expansion of the fleet, which currently includes 6 ships, with 7 more ships that are going to be introduced by 2031. So I think it's great too. So once again, and to have cast members from around the world actually be naming the ship, which is great too. Usually a cruise line will actually select one person to be a godfather, godmother of the ship, but in this case, Disney Treasure was actually honored of by Disney cast members across the world, which is great too. I think that it's just phenomenal, really exciting too. I got a chance to sail on Disney Cruise Line's first ship back in the 1990s. It was just phenomenal because what they did was we went to their private island, which is great, and that's also the first time actually a cruise ship actually had a dock at their private island, which is great. Also, they had fantastic shows on board the ship, and what was nice too is you change places to dine every night, but once again, your wait service staff members went with you, which was great. Different theme restaurants, it's great too. Also, they had an adults only area, kids area, great areas just for everybody to go to too. So once again, definitely keep in mind, if you love Disney, it's just a great way because the entertainment was just phenomenal, and this looks so exciting too. So once again, it's the new Disney Treasure, and she's now sailing, which is great too. That's really exciting. Okay, and now that I'm talking about, okay, people christen ships, okay, it's really kind of funny because once again, traditionally, a cruise line would select a female to christen their ship, a godmother. That's a tradition over the years, And it's, what they did was, Norwegian Cruise Line actually was the first cruise line to have a godfather christen one of their ships. I was actually there. It was really phenomenal. Their godfather was actually Pitbull, yes. And he christened the ship. He did a half-hour concert. We're outside, of course, for the christening. He was there, christened the ship, of course, did a half-hour concert. It was just phenomenal, okay? But what they did was, Norwegian Cruise Line has got their new ship coming out in April, this next year, April 2025, the Norwegian Aqua. And this week, they announced another godfather for their newest ship, which is really fun, okay? The godfather they named was actually a two-time Emmy Award-winning actor, Eric Stonestreet. He's going to serve as godfather, and he's best known for his work on the hit TV show Modern Family. Also, he's been in several different films, including The Secret Life of Pets, Identity Theft, Thief, and also Donna Masters, and currently he's on season 2 of The Santa Clauses, which is great too. So once again, it's really great too, because once again, Norwegian Cruise Line, they really bring joy to their guests in so many different ways too. And the president of Norwegian Cruise Line, David Harrar, is a fantastic person. I met him. Mentioned we're really excited to officially welcome Eric Stonestreet to the NCL family. And as mentioned, the christening is going to be taking place on April 13th, 2025 in Miami. And of course, Eric is going to be leading the honored tradition of actually christening the vessel by breaking the bottle of champagne across the bow. It's a classic way. Also, what they're doing is it's just meant to bring it's a way, it's a tradition to really bring good fortune for the life of the vessel and all the passengers who sail on her through her journeys too, which is great. So once again, once the christening is taking place on Norwegian Aqua, then the Norwegian Aqua is going to sail on 7-day itineraries from Port Canaveral, beginning April 26, 2025. And these include calls at their different destinations, including Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, Tortola and Bridge of Virgin Islands, which is gorgeous. Also St. Thomas Virgin Islands, also Great Stirrup Cay, which is their private out island in the Bahamas. And once again, too, it's really fun too, is, as mentioned, usually cruise lines for years would have to actually anchor and tender people into their private outlines. But what Norwegian Cruise Line is doing is they're actually going to feature a brand new pier in 2025, which is great. So once again, and then after their first cruise season, during the first cruise season, then Norwegian Aqua is going to be offering some 7-day voyages to Bermuda from New York City. That'll be from August 2025 through October 2025, and then from May 2026 to October 2026, the Norwegian Aqua is going to return to Miami to sail on 5- and 7-day Eastern Caribbean itineraries. And this is actually the first ship in their Prima class ship, so she's going to feature some really elevated experiences, including their Aqua slide coaster. It's a first of a kind hybrid roller coaster and water slide. Okay, and it's going to be actually the longest and fastest slide at sea. The ship will also have a high-tech digital sports complex called the Globe Court, and it's they've got their Aqua Game Zone. Okay, and it just sounds fantastic to have a godfather. I'm really excited about this. It just really was exciting to hear about this too. Also, I know that Norwegian Aqua is going to debut an upscale Thai dining experience, a plant plant-based venue, also new wine bar. So they're offering different things aboard the ship, including Norwegian Cruise Line's first upscale Thai restaurant, their first plant-based eatery, and also a new wine bar, which is great. And with their new restaurant, I think it's Sukola. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, but it's going to feature traditional offerings too, plus diners could actually look forward to different types of traditions too, as far as a Thai experience too. And I know it's going to have the Metropolitan Bar is going to be, which is one of the bars NCL has in their ships too. It's going to have this. It's going to have like a minor area of New York City. Okay. Also, I know that they've got. As far as their indulge food hall, they've got the new Planetary, which is offering plant-based bowls and also healthy options too, which is great. So once again, that's new too. Also, as far as premiering on the Norwegian Aqua, is going to be their Swirl Wine Bar. It's premiering on their ship, Aqua. It's a contemporary wine lounge, providing an intimate experience for guests between Deck 6, between the Whiskey Bar and the Hasuki, which is their hibachi-style restaurant. Also, Swirl will offer by glass menu, also extensive list of premium wines too, which is really fun too. So keep that in mind, but I just think there are wonderful things coming up with new ships coming out. And as mentioned, the Norwegian Aqua is going to debut christen next year. Okay. And as mentioned, they have another ship coming out in 2026, which is another premier class ship. That's going to be called, they just announced this too, which is fun, but it's going to be called the Norwegian Luna. And it's their second premium class ship. The Norwegian Luna will sail from Miami from April through November 2026. And its sister twin ship, which is the Norwegian Aqua, they're going to be about 10% larger than their original Prima class ships too. And with the Luna, it's going to carry about 3,555 guests. Also, right now with the Norwegian Viva, which is the most recent Prima class ship, that carries 3,195 guests. Okay, but that's just kind of fun. They're building new ships like crazy, which is great too. And I know that they're doing great things too, so I want to share that too. But once again, it's so fun. They got a new Godfather christening the Norwegian Cruise Line ship coming out in April this next year, which is great. And that, of course, is the Norwegian Aqua, which is debuting, of course, April 2025. On April 13th, should be christened. And then they're going to have the ship sail, of course, on different cruises, Caribbean cruises too. So keep that in mind too. But April 13th is going to be a very special day, 2025. Okay, and that's great. You know, as far as how cruise lines select godfathers and godmothers, I'm not sure how, but once again, it's a great way because with the godfather, godmother, they're selected to actually bring wonderful things to the cruise ships too. It's just a long time tradition too, and just a really fun thing to share too, because I'm really excited about the Norwegian Aqua. Hopefully get a chance to see her too, but I think what she's providing is going to be great too, because she's offering some new things too. And to actually announce recently, have this really, really famous actor christen the ship, which is great too. I think it's just kind of fun that they're doing that, which is really fun too. Okay, and they've got as far as some things they're doing too on board the ship too, they've got in the Aqua Theater and Club, they're going to have a show called Revolution: A Celebration of Prince. This is an hour-long show that will embrace the global icon's rise to popularity. He was really one of the leaders of soul music and pop music too, and it's going to take place in the Aqua Theater and Club, and will feature performances on the stage and for a really immersive experience too. Also, they're doing the Aqua Theater and Club is similar to the theater and club aboard the Norwegian Prima, also Norwegian Viva. And the thing is, they're doing some wonderful things as far as entertainment, because cruise lines entertainment is fantastic anyway. I mean, I could talk about them for hours. They have Broadway productions on board their ships, but also they have customized types of entertainment too, which is great. But this is really, I think, kind of fun too. And as far as, once again, going back to her her itinerary beginning April of 2025, the Norwegian Aqua is going to offer 7-day Caribbean sailings departing from Port Canaveral, which is about an hour away from from Disney Port, but Disney World. Okay, but anyway, but they feature the tropical islands, including Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, Tortola, British Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, US Virgin Islands too, and also Great Stirrup Cay, which is their private outlet in the Bahamas. And actually, real quick too, is Norwegian Cruise Line was actually the first cruise line to actually do a private out island. I think that came up probably in the 1970s, but they're the ones that first debuted that, which is great too. They're adding more to their private out island, which is great. I've been there several times. It's amazing what they're doing too. So definitely keep in mind, because once again, with the Norwegian Aqua to be sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is an hour away, maybe Orlando. Okay, but it's great to experience it too. But just really exciting as far as things they're doing on the ship, and also having a Godfather Christmas ship, which is great too. We're getting. Next week we're celebrating, of course, Thanksgiving. But one thing we're doing too is, I know that Waterways is actually offering some special Christmas markets cruise too, which is great. And with Alma Waterways, remember they are been around for over 22 years, and they offer different river cruise line experiences for their guests in different locations too, including one that's coming up in March of next year. They're offering cruises and we're going on the Magdalena River, which is great. I've just written about it. And they offer different river cruises experiences to Egypt, of course, Europe, but they offer, I think, some really fun things as far as their Christmas market cruise too. And what they're doing is they just announced this, okay? They're offering a special sailing for Spanish-speaking travelers, okay? Every year. And due to that really continuing growth, they decided to actually offer a second sailing for 2025, the Swiss Alps and the Rhine and the Castle Christmas Cruise, which joins their previously announced Latin enticing Douro. And so in this case, this is going to take place, of course, in 2025. They have Christmas cruises coming up this year, probably sold out already, but what they're going to do is debuting from Basel, Switzerland on December 15th, 2025. They're going to be offering an 8-day luxury cruise aboard the 162 past Alma Veneta. Should be sailing from Switzerland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and taking in cities and decorated for the holidays and beautiful decor too, with glistening, of course, Christmas trees and thriving holiday markets too. And they just announced this also is hosted by a bilingual cruise manager. So once again, include features with Spanish-speaking guides, daily cruise programs. They've got their daily newsletter. Also, the menus of exquisite dishes of local cuisine, and also all in Spanish, which is great. And also going to have, of course, featured Zumba classes, and also festive Latin-inspired, of course, entertainment. And what's great too is the sailing actually lets guests from the shores of Lake Lucerne to the banks of the Rhine, home to more than 40 castles. Christmas markets offered in every port, which is a center attraction of this cruise too. But once again, they mention one example too is include the Market of Cologne Cathedral, which is the city's largest, with more than 200 stalls spread across 2 different floors offering a different wide variety of traditional Christmas foods, drinks, and gifts. And for guests that maybe want to take a look at excursions beyond the markets, they offer a walking tour. Takes guests through 3 countries, Switzerland, France, and Germany. And then they've got a wine tasting cruise, which will people can enjoy the flavors of vineyards. And like I said, they've got a guided tour of the Cologne's take in the Cologne Cathedral, which is a 13th century, yes, 13th century Gothic marvel. And also, it's actually an UNESCO World Heritage Site that was actually the tallest building in the world at the time of its completion. And then in Amsterdam, guests can really enjoy a canal cruise through some of the city's 165 different canals, or do a walking tour if they want to, which offers a taste of local flavors, iconic canals, narrow bridges, and also houseboats too, which is great too. And once again, the ship they're using for this one is the Ama Veneta. It features really spacious accommodations for guests. It includes balconies, so people can take the views of the holiday decorated towers and villages along the Rhine River Valley, which is great too. And just as far as entertainment demand, of course, in their staterooms, that's great too. Also, they've got nightly entertainment in their panoramic lounge, which is great. The ship also features a massage room, fitness room, a sun deck swimming pool, gift shop, complimentary bicycles, and also, of course, with the cruise line, they got their Renowned Cuisine too in the main restaurant, which also serves regionally inspired dishes and hand-selected wines too. So keep that in mind, because once again, OnWaters is offering Christmas market cruise with a Latin touch, and this is going to start in 2025 on their ship, which is the Ama Veneta, which is great too. Something else really exciting too is we had another ship that came out earlier this year, the Explorer 2. This is Explorer Journeys. Explorer Journeys is actually a cruise line that is partly is owned by the MSC Group. What they do is they actually have had MSC cruises for a while, and the parent company is, of course, family owned, great people. And the beginning of them with the MSC Group, actually, the family actually got into the Mediterranean shipping company, container shipping company, hundreds of years ago. Okay, and then they decided a while back, I'm trying to think when they started their MSC cruises. It might have been in maybe 1980s, to get in the cruise industry. And they built new ships, which are gorgeous. Also, what they did too is they decided to launch their luxury cruise line, Explorer Journeys, and then their Explorer 1, which debuted actually in 2023, which is great. And then this year, they just debuted the Explorer 2 over in Europe earlier this fall. What they did was, the Explorer Journeys sailed, of course, in Europe first, and what they do is then they actually brought the Explorer Journey ship, their Explorer 2, which arrived into Miami. And she just arrived into Miami this week, which is great. What she's doing is she's making her maiden call in North America and launching her inaugural Caribbean season, which is great. And so, like I mentioned, she was unveiled actually in September 2024, so a couple months ago, sailed in Europe, and now, like I said, with the Explorer 2, she just arrived into Miami, and she's going to be sailing out of Port Miami, which is great. So I think that's really fun. And with them, of course, it's very high in luxury, and also the mindset is to bring the ocean life to sea, which is great. And once again, it just arrived. Actually, I think today. Okay, really great way to celebrate today. But she just arrived in Port Miami today, and now she's starting the beginning of her inaugural Caribbean sailings. As mentioned, she'll be going to beautiful places like St. Bart's, Guadeloupe, Antigua, Puerto Rico, many others. And as far as length of cruises, she'll be offering cruises 7 nights to 14 nights, which is great. And people can really just enriched with the different Caribbean, and she's going to with the culture, cuisine, wildlife, and just really, really great history too. And once again, she's offering her Caribbean sailings now. And once again, she's going to be sailing, as mentioned, from Miami to Antigua, part of her journey of Coral Kingdoms and Pirates Lairs itinerary. And like I said, November 29th to December 6th, where guests can really enjoy different places, including St. Bart's, which is gorgeous, St. Kitts, which is fantastic. I've been there several times. And then another one is they've got this special journey to the Forgotten Worlds of the Riviera Maya. That's actually February of next year. Also, then journey into Sizzling New York and Enchanted Isles from December 27th this year through January 5th, 2025. She's going to continue celebrate the new year by offering a sailing from Charlotte Amalia, also Antigua, also the beautiful shores of St. Kitts too. So once again, it's just really beautiful what they're doing too. And as mentioned, Explore Journeys is luxury lifestyle brand of the MSC Group, which is actually headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. And once again, it just really focuses on the ocean state of mind too, which is great. And so that's really exciting. The ship just arrived, of course, into Miami today, and Explore 2 is actually going to be sailing out now, which is great too. So once again, just fun things, isn't it? Something else that's kind of fun too is I just ran across this. Okay, I mean, kind of fun. There's a cruise that started a couple years ago called Margaritaville at Sea. Okay, I'd heard about it. They launched in 2022. And they offered, at that point when they first launched, they offered 2-night budget cruises with one port of call, which is on a ship that was 30 years old. What they did was, I guess the cruise line got sold off and they've got new ownership. And the new ownership is actually the private equity firm called Sycamore. What they're doing is they're actually offering a second ship, the Margaritaville at Sea Islander. And she's going to be cruising up to 7-day itineraries next year in 2025, which is great. Also, she's offering $99 day passes for Bahama-bound cruises to the Margaritaville Beach Resort in Nassau, which is great. So it's good that they're going from one ship to 2 ships. The new ship is going to launch, start sailing in next year, the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, which is great. And like I said, it's good because once again, it's good to actually offer, I think, longer cruises too. And once again, too, is the cruise on a little bit of a rocky start. Not that it's bad, but it's really fun. They've got a new ship, okay, which they're refurbishing, okay. And something else that they just announced, which I think is really exciting. We like dogs like their kids are walking forward with 4 feet, right? But of course, once again, you cannot bring a dog on a ship. However, what they just announced this past week was that Margaritaville at Sea is going to be bringing a dog-friendly cruise. Okay, and they're going to offer dog parents a positively awesome vacation when it sails with the Margaritaville at Sea next year in 2025, okay? And the trip is going to be taking off in November 2025. It will sail from Tampa on the Margaritaville at Sea Islander with 250 dogs on board. Organizers, Tales and Expedia Cruises of West Orlando told them. And it says, and while you don't have to have a ride with a dog to come with you, you definitely need to be pet friendly, okay? But I think that's kind of fun too. Once again, too, as far as the experience, each guest will be assigned a pet butler. Okay, we have butlers that happen to help people on cruise ships. I've had that myself too when I sailed the MSC Yacht Club. But to have a pet butler, is that kind of fun? That's going to ensure that the cabin and the ship remain clean, with each dog will have access to a private relief station on their balcony, okay? But have a pet butler assigned to you and your pet, which is great. Also, on this cruise, it's going to feature dog-themed activities like dog shows, training sessions, guest speakers, costume contests with gifts and samples from the top vendors. I think it's kind of fun, isn't it, that they'll have costume contests? Because once again, we just got through Halloween, and a lot of times people dress up their dogs when they do trick-or-treating, right? Well, in this case, they're going to have costume contests with gifts, okay? I'll know about this later on. Also, travelers will be able to book slots with dog groomers and for puppy massages. Also, enjoy dog-friendly splash stations. And it's really pup-centric fun. And once again, to board, all dogs must be updated with vaccinations and health checks too. And they haven't really mentioned anything as far as the actual cost or specific dates. Once again, this is going to take place on the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, and that's going to be featuring, of course, plenty of restaurants, lounges, and unique spaces, including their 3-story Land Shark bar and a 14-story atrium. And the ship is going to be based out of Tampa, and it's going to be sailing to Key West, of course, in Mexico. So once again, before the sailing, as mentioned, most cruise lines don't welcome pets on board, and they only allow service dogs at times too. The only difference on this one too is the only one that's different is Cunard. They're one exception. They actually boast onboard kennels during transatlantic crossings where owners are allowed to actually visit their furry family members, okay? But other cruise lines don't welcome pets on board their ships. Usually it's only for the service dogs, and the only exception, of course, prior to this was actually Cunard Line. They've got these special onboard kennels during their transatlantic crossings only on their ships. Okay, I think on one ship maybe. But how fun that, if you love your pet, well, if you want to take your pet with you on a cruise, definitely keep this in mind, because once again, this is going to be coming up in November 2025 with the Margaritaville at Sea Islander is going to sail from Tampa, and we'll have allow 250 dogs on board, which is great. So I think that's kind of fun to think about too, if you like your dogs, the kids with 4 feet, not 2, and don't want to leave them home. Of course, they have to have their vaccinations, everything is done first too. So they just announced this, I'll share more about that later on, but it's kind of fun to think about. Yes, you can actually take your pet on a cruise if you want to, so keep this in mind. This won't be till next year. It's the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, okay? But just keep in mind too, because once again, sounds like fun, doesn't it? I think that's really, really good too, okay? Something else that came up too is a cruise line that actually, they had some problems during the coronavirus mess too. What happened was Crystal Cruises has been around for a long time. What they did was Crystal Cruises went under, but then what happened is that another company actually purchased their 2 ships. So what they do is they had 2 ships that they were operating, their Crystal Serenity and their Crystal Symphony. And Crystal has been around for a long time, very high-end luxury. It was great too. I had a chance to do the Crystal Serenity myself back in 2016. It was amazing because I'd never seen so many people so loyal. I mean, they only sail on Crystal. And the Crystal Serenity accommodates 740 guests, and their Crystal Serenity accommodates 606 guests too. What they're doing is Crystal Cruises, they've got a new parent company, so they've been sailing now, which is great, but they just announced orders for a 3rd ship. It's going to be actually constructed by Fincantieri, and it's going to be delivered in 2032, which is great. And they also mentioned something kind of fun too, is it'll be their 3rd ship, delivered in 2032. Once again, in this case, similar to its sister ships, this will be, I think, 690 guests, and they haven't named the ship yet, of course, but it's going to great, for people like Crystal Cruises anyway, with their Crystal Symphony, Crystal Serenity. They've got their the ship's promenade, which is great. It's a feature they always have on their ships too. Also, the ship will have all-inclusive, all-suite accommodations with private verandas, also including a single occupancy balcony with veranda, and designed for solo travelers too, which is great. And once again, it's really great that they have been able to now build their third ship, which is great. And this announcement comes after Crystal Cruises. Two ships were acquired by A&K Travel Group. Okay, it's a new chapter, which is really, really fun too. And another thing they mentioned too, which is fun too, is they just announced something they're launching too. Crystal's just introduced their Casino de Monte Carlo on board the Crystal Symphony, which is the first casino of its type at sea, and they just announced this yesterday. In this case, it's a new gaming venue that resulted from a collaboration with the Monte Carlo Society de Bon de Mar, and the casino is debuting the Crystal Symphony during their cruise in Venice, Italy, and then it's going to schedule to launch on Crystal Serenity in December 18. And this gaming offers different available things up on their ongoing Crystal vessels too. Just won't be on their expedition ships too. But the casino will be actually located in the ship's former bridge lounge. And then on board the Crystal Symphony, the casino spans over 1,000 square feet, features 29 slots, machines, and 3 live tables. The Crystal Serenity's casino will have 32 slot machines and 3 live tables. And gaming option will include slot machines, blackjack, American Roulette, and the ultimate Texas Hold'em. Okay, and it's really kind of fun that they were doing that too, because once again, it's a great way to really expand and update what they're doing on the ships. Their ships were gorgeous when I sailed on the Crystal Serenity myself too, and Manfredi Lefevre, who is the executive chairman of the parent company A&K Travel Group, mentioned, "We could not be prouder to unveil the first ever casino de Monte Carlo on board this Crystal Symphony, and they'll be actually on their other ship, the Crystal Serenity too, which is great." So I think that's kind of fun too, and actually then having a third new ship being built, that is really fun, isn't it? Something else too is Oceania Cruises, which is a great, great luxury cruise line. What they're doing is they hadn't had a ship for quite a while, but what they did was they actually have another ship coming out too, and they just did a new partnership. They unveiled some details with it's a new culinary venture debuting on the Allura in 2025, next year, and it's on their new ship launching in 2025, the Allura. Okay, and it's called Le Crêperie, which is located next to Baristas. It's their signature coffee lounge bar. And I know that what they did was they've got 20 recipes for this new venue. The menus, of course, include the French classic crepe Suzette, as well as Bruxelles waffles with fresh banana, salted caramel sauce, and whipped cream, and some other things too. But once again, the Allure is actually their 8th elegant small ship, and this really represents the next step of Oceania Cruises as far as evolution, a new way to really, really explore the world too. And food, of course, is really at the heart of everything they do at Oceania Cruises, and offering the finest cuisine at sea is one thing they're known for too. And once again, it's really kind of fun that they're offering this new culinary venue, be debuting on the Allura, their new ship coming out in 2025, which is great. And it's like going to be the 12th dining venue on board the Allura. So it's called Le Crêperie. And it's going to be the 12th dining venue. They also have on board the ship, they've got their grand dining room, which offers the fleet's finest dining venues. Also got the Terrace Cafe, which offers international cuisine with really a panoramic seaside terrace. Polo Grill, which is a classic steakhouse. Toscana, which is Italian cuisine. Ember, American classics with a modern twist. They've got their Aquamar Kitchen, which is wellness-inspired cuisine. They got their Waves Grill, which provides poolside gourmet sandwiches, signature burgers by day. They've got alfresco pizzeria at night. They got the Bakery of the Baristas, which includes freshly baked French and Italian pastries. And then they got the afternoon tea at Horizons. This is tea that takes place 4 p.m. every day. And they've got their privé, which is guests can enjoy really special occasions in this ultimate private dining experience too. And as mentioned, the Allure is their 8th vessel, and it's the second 1,200 guest Allure class ship, and it follows their sister ship, the Vista, which actually launched in May of 2023 last year. What's good too is with some of the highlights about Oceania Cruises, they've got one chef for every 10 guests. Also, they've got five specialty dining venues, and all are free of charge too. They have 200 guests on board their ships. They have 800 crew members, which is great. Also, they've got different immersive shore excursions and tours for people to choose from every sailing. Onboard entertainment includes art classes, also guest speakers. They've got their expansive culinary center, and this is accompanying chef studio. Okay, also they've got their food and wine pairing experiences with demonstrations, and they got their luxury new library, which features photo glass, oversized chairs and things too. And every guest on board Oceania Cruises receives a rich selection of always included amenities, okay, which is great. Dining at all specialty restaurants on board, including creperie, so sodas, juices, specialty coffees and teas, sparkling water, Starlink Wi-Fi, in-room dining. We've got fruit smoothies and other group fitness classes, laundry services, gratuities for stateroom attendants, butlers, and dining, which is great. And once again, it really is small ship luxury. So keep that in mind too, which I think is great, because once again, Oceania Cruises is a leading culinary and destination-focused cruise line, and they've got 8 small luxury ships too, which account a major, just a maximum of 1,250 guests. So keep that in mind too, because that's really kind of fun as far as the new ship coming out and having this new creperie, which is going to be a new culinary dining option too. I think it's wonderful, isn't it? And once again, this is kind of fun too, is Oceania Cruises, they're celebrating something else special too. They're celebrating 15 years of teaching cooking at sea. I mean, it's really fun to taste food, but once again, they've got a purpose-built, their culinary center, which is great, and is available for their ships, their marina, the Riviera, the Vista, and the Allura, which is a new ship coming up next year in the summertime. This is a 15-year milestone that they're celebrating, and they've added new culinary classes in 2025, which includes a spotlight of dishes from the Pacific Northwest of the United States, Polynesia, Australia, and others too. And the Culinary Center features more than 60 current classes taught by custom-built teaching kitchens with individual stations, professional-grade equipment, and the classes offer guests a chance to really enjoy the destination's culture and history through food, and also hone in their kitchen skills too, which is great too, with a faculty of dedicated chef instructors too. And so I think that's really kind of fun that they're celebrating this. Mark, do you have any questions for me?
I did. I know that this is about to be Thanksgiving, and it's about to be Turkey Day, and so I just wondered if you knew of any good trips or any good specials that the cruise industry will have for Thanksgiving, because we know Christmas is going to come, and we've shown in the past Christmas specials. But I didn't know if there was any special dinners that the cruises did for Thanksgiving if you decided you wanted to do a Thanksgiving cruise. Since a lot of people will be spending time with family, and I imagine that that's what the cruise ships will do as well. So I didn't know if you had any thoughts, or if you heard about any cruises that were doing specials for Thanksgiving, since that's literally in about 6 days from now.
Right, right. Well, those ships are already booked up for that. Okay, but the point is, I actually had a chance to do a cruise that actually we sailed out the day before Thanksgiving. Okay, it's like Crystal Cruises, Crystal Serenity. Had a chance to do a special cruise, and it came up accidentally, and we sailed out on Wednesday in the afternoon. And of course, Thanksgiving Day, we had a special Thanksgiving Day dinner, which is great. It was really fun. First time I've ever been away from Thanksgiving. I miss the family thing, but it's still good to kind of experience it on a ship. And as mentioned with Crystal Cruises, they're they have they're local, don't have as many guests on board some of the bigger cruise line ships too. But it was great to experience it too. So once again, if you're interested in maybe doing a cruise on over Thanksgiving, book way far in advance, of course, because the sailings next week are already sailing out or going to be sailing out. They're probably booked up. But they do special Thanksgiving dinner. It's a tradition, which is great too. So if maybe you want to try and do that with your family, whatever, think about doing that maybe in 2025 and book it far in advance, because once again, the cruise I did with the Crystal Serenity, we sailed out. It was actually a longer cruise, but we departed from New Orleans. Okay, then sailed down the river, whatever, and then did different things. But it was really kind of fun to do that too. It was fun to really kind of experience that again too. And but they all do definitely special things for the holidays too. So definitely keep that in mind, because once again, if you decide with your family a year in advance, because cruises for those dates really book up fast, then definitely look into maybe doing something like that too, because they all have special events on Thanksgiving Day, which is great. So let the chefs come to you, which is great. Does that answer your question, Mark? It's kind of a fun thing to do too. I did it once, and it was really fun to do it too, which is great.
Yeah, that definitely answered the question. I was just wondering about that and everything, but definitely that sounds great. And as you oftentimes say, there's all kinds of great entertainment on the cruises as well. And know that they're getting ready to do at the Cultural Center. I work at a jazz concert, but I know they've got everything from jazz to comedy to dramas to theater productions to everything else. So you can get your entertainment right there on the boat, and it comes with the fare and everything. So it's not additional cost. So, but you can definitely get there and enjoy the entire great entertainment they have on the cruise ships.
They're included, which is great. They're not going to charge you this month for a ticket to go see a show. It's great. They're already included, because, once again, I'm not bad mouthing Las Vegas, okay? But I went there for a cruise conference once, and what happened was the first day we did the conference, we had tickets to go see a show. The problem, we had to pay for the show. We had a little discount, but the point is, in Vegas, you have to pay for your entertainment. Or in cruise ships, it's included, and they got so many different diverse entertainment options, which is great on board the ships too. I mean, just so much great
Yeah,
things to do on board the
lots of
cruises.
entertainment options, like you said, and everything.
Yeah.
And I know that they've been doing the reboot of the Love Boat, and I think you said you had met some of the original members of the
I
original Love Boat
did.
and everything. But they're
I
doing a
did. I did.
reboot, and we'll see how that goes. Just like I was watching the reboot recently of the new Matlock, which is actually starring a woman Matlock, and
Right.
she's actually playing off the old Matlock series and saying
Yes.
that she's like a new type of attorney, because she's actually trying to
Right.
bust somebody and everything. But I just wondering, have you seen the new Love Boat, and is it getting picked up for a second season, or what's going on with the
I'm
new
not
Love Boat?
sure. I mean, I've seen, they started that one new TV show, Doctor Odyssey, which take place on a ship. The fun thing is, the captain of that ship is actually, remember Miami Vice,
Hmm?
Don Johnson.
Yes,
He is the captain of that ship.
cool.
It's really kind of interesting twist. I mean, seriously. I mean, just I think it takes place on Thursday. It's really kind of a fun twist. Okay, a little bit different. Okay, because they're not really. But like I said, the Love Boat is what really years and years ago. What really kind of, I think, drew people into cruising, and in a new way too. And I love watching the show like crazy. In my case, too, I met Gavin McLeod a couple of times. He was at different cruise conferences. Also, there was another time when Princess Cruises brought their ship over from Europe and they had it come to Fort Lauderdale where she's going to start sailing Fort Lauderdale. They rechristened the ship there and they had different people from the Love Boat TV series there too. I got a chance to
Well,
meet Doc and Gopher,
mm,
which was really fun.
yeah, that sounds like that would be real fun
It
and
was
everything.
great. It was great because I mean, watching the TV show, I used to watch reruns when I got home. I was doing my MBA at Loyola, Chicago. But we had night classes. I did it at night while working full time. But I come home and what I do is I relax. Got up about 10 o'clock. A 3 hour class. Got released at 9 o'clock. Took me an hour to get home, and then I would turn on the Lobo reruns at 10:30. Relax. Okay.
Yep, that
But
sounds amazing.
Gavin McLeod. Fun thing too is I met him at different cruise conferences. He was like the spokesperson for Princess Cruises. He passed away a couple years ago, but such a great person. And one time, actually, my parents booked on a cruise on Princess Cruises to go to Tahiti, okay, for their anniversary. I was still doing
Mm,
some sales for an agency, and the fun thing is, I knew Gav was going to be at this conference, okay, representing Princess Cruises as their brand ambassador. I bought a happy anniversary card. Okay, I took it with me, and when I talked to Gavin, I met him a couple times before. I said, Gavin, by the way, I've got my parents booked on this Princess Cruise, Tahiti, for their anniversary in about 2 months. And I said, I have a happy anniversary card. Would you mind signing the happy anniversary card for me? He says, sure, no problem. When I gotta go, can I go? I gave him the date. He says, I can't go. I'm busy. But anyway, he signed that happy anniversary card to my parents, and I gave them that card with their cruise documents. And it was such a great memory. I mean, to get a happy anniversary card from Captain Stubing with your cruise
go
documents when
home.
you're sailing on Princess Cruises, that was amazing. It was so much fun, and he's been gone for a couple of years, but they've got it's great because they really kind of energize the cruise industry, which is great too because we have a lot of good people there too. And one thing I'm going to share at the end too right now is actually didn't realize this, but we think about birthdays. Okay, now this just came up yesterday, but we have a special birthday coming up in the United States in 2026. What's the birthday? We're celebrating America's 250th birthday in 2026. Okay, didn't realize it, but how fun. But Carnival Cruise Line just announced more details. They're going to be offering 10 special sailings for 2026 that really commemorates the United States 250th birthday. And they're going to bring guests together for special meetings, unique patriotic celebration experiences too. And I know they're going to be offering itineraries on these special 10 cruises um, on 6 different home ports: Miami, Port Canaveral, Jacksonville, New York City, Long Beach, and San Francisco. And I know that sale is going to be opening up for sale. But I know that on July 4th of 2026, which is America's 250th birthday, 7 ships sailing from the East Coast home ports will meet up near Celebration Key, which is their private island. And ships will unite together. But it's just really great too, because once again, with Carnival Cruise Line, they're really known as America's Cruise Line too. And they're really celebrating this milestone in a new way. I didn't realize it. We celebrate July 4th, but this is great to know that in 2026, America is celebrating their 250th birthday, which is great too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, Carnival Cruise Line is offering some special sailings, 10 different sailings to celebrate America's 250th birthday in 2026.
It looks like some more fantastic news in the cruise industry and everything like that. I know you're wrapping up and everything, but whenever you wrap up, we'll go out with that commercial from the lady that does the things around the environment and everything like that. So we'll have the
Have that
environmental
ready.
lady
That'd be
to
great. Because once
tell us
again,
that.
the cruise lines, they're doing that right now too, which is great. We can end with that right now. That's great too. Because once again, she actually was the godmother of the Explorer 1, which is christened last year, and Explorer 2 just came out this year. And she just arrived today at Port Miami, sailing on Caribbean cruises now until spring. So this is a great way to end it out too, because once again, she was a godmother of the Explorer 1. Yes.
Cool. we'll find that particular commercial and we'll get ready to end with that.
Yeah.
And I get ready to end that and everything. So hold on one second while I look for that particular one. There we go. Dr. Sylvia Earle. So we'll
Yes, she is great. Yes.
Here we go.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Dr. Sylvia Earle, a marine biologist, oceanographer, explorer, and I'm passionate about the protection of this blue planet. I grew up next to the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, and I've witnessed how much the ocean has changed and how marine life has been endangered. But I know there is still time to help the ocean, which is why I was drawn to the Aponte family's sustainability mission. Explorer Journeys has a genuine ambition to connect people with the wonders of the sea, its marine life, its communities, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. We share the same values and have the same objectives to deepen people's relationship with the ocean, to explore, protect, and restore. Explorer Journeys calls it the ocean state of mind, a sensibility that will ensure the protection of this precious blue planet. Through my foundation, Mission Blue, we're working on ocean conservation, inspiring hope with champions across the world. Beginning with my extraordinary role as godmother to Explorer One, we will be heralding a meaningful collaboration between myself, Mission Blue, and Explorer Journeys and the MSC Foundation towards preserving and restoring the world's oceans, the blue heart of the planet.